Hello everyone, I'm Lauren Gertis, and this is my second teaching task covering decimals. The student I chose is Megan Scott. Megan is a sophomore at UNK studying pharmacy, a pole vaulter on the track and field team, very gifted in math, and one of my best friends. To assess Megan's prior knowledge, I first asked Megan about the rules she learned about using decimals growing up. She responded like I thought she would, with saying, "Act like it's a normal number and move the decimal." Next, I presented the decimal 1 23/100 and asked Megan to read me its value. This showed me she knew the importance of place value and knew what place equates to what value. Then I told Megan to convert 3 fractions into decimals, and lastly, I had a list of numbers with decimals and fractions and had Megan list them from smallest to greatest. This showed me that she knew how to convert from one to the other and understood its value. Here is what we will be covering in this video. For addition, I ended up using base 10 blocks. For this first problem, it really shows the value of placeholders and what Megan would do if there was a 0 or not equal place values in the addition problem. In the second problem, what happens if we have to regroup the amount of base 10 blocks and make them into a different block? What will she do with that? I use the base 10 blocks first because I believe it's a great visual representation for students to grasp the concept of place value. For subtraction, I chose the place value chart because it really teaches students that we are lining up by place value and not the decimal. Both of these equations asked Megan to do a little bit of regrouping and how she would model that in the place value chart, along with showing placeholder zeros. Next we have multiplication, and for this I used 2 different methods for teaching, the first being area model and the second being fractions. For the sake of this video, I wasn't sure how to put this number vertically, and I didn't want it to be sideways, so I just put our fractions into decimals for this slideshow. I first showed Megan the area model for its organized approach in showing that each part of the multiplication process has a step in the equation. And secondly, I used the fraction method, which is my favorite, to represent multiplying by a special 1 to get the same size pieces to complete the multiplication problem. For division, I ended up using repeated subtraction and the traditional algorithm to show of how many groups a blank fit into blank. Additionally, I showed Megan the importance of we are not moving the decimal, but we are changing the place values. Now on to the reflection part. First question, what went well? Megan was open-minded and relearned why we line up decimals and the importance of place value. Second, where did Megan struggle? Megan's biggest struggle was remembering how to correctly use long division, so we worked through this together and we refreshed on memories about the rules of long division. Something I would do differently next time would most likely be choosing a more less gifted student so that they would ask me lifelike student questions to challenge my teaching as well. And finally, what did I learn about teaching? I learned that teaching is completely go with the flow and based on how students are understanding my instruction, and that I just need to adapt based on their understanding. But overall, it was a great teaching task and Megan understood the importance of decimals.